Back at home, feeling misunderstood, and between these ears ain't nothing good.
I think Derek Lewis winning helps UFC out a lot. Because if Curtis Blades won that fight, there's a good shot that he is rightfully so the next in line.
He'd get beat by Francis or Stipe.
He'd probably get murked by either one of them. But now you have a chance where John Jones can get thrown in the picture. You throw John Jones at Curtis Blades, and maybe that winner goes on to face the winner of Stipe and Ngannou. I think that's the best way to do it, honestly, because
You mean John Jones against Derek Lewis?
yeah, sorry, yeah.
I was gonna say Curtis Blades is not.
No, not Curtis Blades,
is
sorry,
gonna
yeah.
have to fight his way back.
Yeah,
from the
Derek
top
Lewis
shot.
or John Jones, the winner of that faces the winner of Stipe and Ngannou here in a few months. I think that's the best way to do it because I don't think John Jones should get a shot right away. I think he's got to fight one more guy. And I think Curtis Blades is deservedly so.
Yeah.
Or not Curtis Blades. Wow, Derek Lewis. Wow.
Yeah, the Black Beast. Looking at it this morning, they don't have John Jones in the heavyweight rankings, so that makes sense. I would actually rather see Stipe versus John Jones because then you get the UFC's greatest heavyweight of all time against the UFC's greatest light heavyweight of all time, and that'd be cool to see who's the.
I think we'll eventually get there.
Yeah.
I think we'll eventually get there. I mean, maybe not because if Ngannou pulls off the upset.
Stipe's 38.
That's true.
Stipe's an old.
Maybe
man.
Stipe gets one last, because I think he's probably nearing the end of his career. I think he probably fights Ngannou, then fights John Jones and calls it. Because I mean, he'd have 4 or 5 title defenses, which is more than I think any UFC heavyweight has in its history.
He has the most. He has the most title defenses in UFC heavyweight history, and he's only lost 3 times in his career.
And adding Ngannou and John Jones to his list
Ngannou
of
for a
titles,
second
yeah,
time.
that'd be massive.
Yeah, and he won the belt from Farouk. I
Yes, I
was
was
looking
doing that.
at his fighting history this morning when I was writing that blog. Since 2016, he's only fought for championships. He won the championship against Fabricio in 2016, and since then it's been defense. He lost it to Cormier, won it back, and then won the rubber match, which I didn't think. Normally it's the guy who wins the first matchup wins the third. No, that's not how this one went. So Stipe is a great one, but back to the play of the week, Derek Lewis's uppercut on Curtis Blades. What's your play of the week for
Oh,
this
my
one?
play of the week is easy. Like I said, Anthony Edwards, that poster. Oh man, he got up. That poor. I don't even know who. Aaron Baines was standing right next to him, but the guy he posted in Toronto. That poor white boy.
Ooh.
Oh, Anthony Edwards just went over the top of him, and just the best poster of the year by far. I mean, this
As nasty of a dunk as I've seen since DeAndre Jordan or Blake Griffin.
that was playing up disrespectful too. Going over the top and then landing on top or landing over the top of him and walking over. That's as good as it gets.
He was still like
He's a rookie.
He was a good 2 feet away from the rim, and DeAndre Jordan and Blake Griffin are famous for the ones where they're up high enough that they can just throw it down. Anthony Edwards still grabbed rim over the top of this kid. It was full on nutsack to the face.
Oh, it was
Hey,
it was bad. Yeah.
What's up? I'm a rookie, and this is
The
how.
kid's 19 years old and doing that. That's just insane.
And he doesn't even like basketball. He likes football more than he likes basketball.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's
Anthony
bad.
Edwards is an interesting dude, but it's easy. That's easy play of the week.
All right, now your player of the week.
Player of the week, man. I gotta go Nathan McKinnon here, because I saw a stat line that he's leading in the last 5 games. He's leading the Avs last 10 games, leading the Avs in goals, assists, and points.
Yep.
And what he's been able to put on for the Avs, he's been showing out. And yes, we haven't played before this week, or last week, excuse me. We hadn't played in 2 weeks. But what he's done recently and what he's been dominating, boy, that rocket from the right side, I was telling you, that is his signature move.
Yeah.
McKinnon driving from coast to coast from his own blue line basically, his own
he got it
circle,
from his circle.
face-off circle,
Yeah.
going coast to coast, coming down that right or left-hand side, and doing a piss missile to the back of the net. That is very similar to the Gordie Howe, Deke, and the Ovechkin slap shot from the wing. It list goes on and on. That's it right there. Because when McKinnon is coming full speed, if it wasn't for Anthony Edwards' dunk, that would have been my play of the week easily.
Yeah,
But McKinnon off the wing, because most players just send those pucks in, shots like that, just for rebounds to get another possession. McKinnon, when he does that, he's going to put that on net and get a good shot at it going in.
he went high shoulder opposite corner
On Fleury, a Hall of Fame goalie.
on Marc-Andre Fleury, and he was crashing, but it was like still mid circle where he shot it from. And you also get Alex Pietrangelo as soon as you pick up speed, you get him mic'd up, go, oh boy,
Oh boy, yeah.
oh boy.
that was as perfect as
And
you could do.
he could only say, oh boy, because then McKinnon was already past him. Like,
Oh, he passed him, ripping it back in net, celebrating. I remember that Calgary goal in the playoffs too, where he did the exact same thing.
In Vancouver.
No, it was Calgary because
he did it against Vancouver there,
yeah,
too.
in the playoffs 2 years ago when he came along the left side and hit. I think it was overtime game winner too. That's why I remember it. Off the left side, hit at the back of the net. And he pumped his fist in the back and jumped off the glass in Calgary. And I remember that being the nail in the coffin for the Flames.
Yeah, he's also done the same. He did it against the Canucks, too, in overtime. Yeah, so we got both the Bleacher Connection guys there. McKinnon, a game winner against each of you guys. I like it. My player of the week also an Avalanche, and it's not a guy that's not the stat leader of the team, but I think I said it. I tweeted it out from our account. We're a Ryan Graves Stand podcast right now because he had two of the biggest blocks in that 5-on-3 situation. A huge penalty kill. If they score in that 5-on-3, we saw what happened when they had that in the playoffs last year. You score in the 5-on-3, it comes back to 5-on-4. Very difficult to say that they're not going to score again.
Yeah.
It could have changed the entire momentum of that game. The Avalanche didn't trail in that game on Saturday night. They lost on the night that we're recording this, and they never were out in front. They didn't trail on Saturday night, and that's a damn good Vegas team that they did that too. Ryan Graves, if he's not on the ice, I think that game goes completely differently.
In the off season, we were like, damn, I don't know about this Zadorov trade. Because we were like, we don't know how Saad is going to look. We lose a big piece on the back end.
Lost a lot of size.
But Ryan Graves is filling right in nicely. He's a big man. He has been physical. He is exactly what the Avalanche needed when we traded Zadorov away. We got to give him better wing and Saad, who's played pretty well. Now Ryan Graves is forming into a solid defender who's a big human being that can be that anchor.
Mm-hmm. He's been filling in for EJ and him and Gerard on the blue line and everybody. That line that he comes in on is still, and the penalty kill. He's always on the penalty kill line. It's incredible what he's been able to do. So Ryan Graves is my player of the week. That's going to be it for episode 29 of the Far End of the Bench.
It's been an eventful one. I almost died.
Yeah.
I mistaked Real Madrid for Juventus. Like I am all over the board. It's been a fun.
You keep bringing up soccer like I'm going to be able to respond.
You had golf in your beats of the week.
Because getting paid a year after Fernando Tatis Jr.'s deal is up. That's ridiculous. I feel so bad for you Mets fans because you're the little brother in New York anyways. It's like being a Jets fan. You won like a little bit a while ago.
You won when this generation wasn't born yet.
And now you're putting yourself in the hole because you know that the Yankees could have a Bobby Bonilla deal, but it doesn't affect anything. Bobby Bonilla is still a major hit against the salary cap, which is ridiculous because the guy retired like 15 years ago. Yeah. It's stupid. Let's get into the Winter Classic, not the outdoor games. It was called NHL Outdoor Games this year at Lake Tahoe. And let's talk about the Avalanche game because it was strange.
It was the longest intermission in between periods.
Yeah, 8 hours and 23 minutes in between the periods.
And there was 9 hours in between each goal.
9 hours exactly in between the first and second goal. But let's break it into parts. So let's talk about first period first because this was a very telling sign to me. I was interested to see how they were going to come out in the third game against the Knights in a row. Obviously, they're playing as we're recording, not doing well. Not going well. We're not going to talk about this one.
Series.
They won 2. They're going to split 2-2,
which is fine because the Knights are good.
Yeah, the Knights are good, but they came out swinging. They came out hot. Gerard got that nice goal to start off with, and
beautiful pass from Mac too.
Yeah,
across the way, and then Gerard just put that top shelf. It was gorgeous.
It's interesting.
It wasn't top shelf. It was a hole right down the middle.
He bounced it underneath his legs. He bounced 5-holed him. It was.
Shout out to the ice for being that bad because that helped a little bit.
Yeah, Gerard's first game back, he scores a goal in the first period, which I had to eat a lot of crow about the way he played this weekend because he actually played defenses pretty well too. But he's a dynamic guy to have out on the ice just because he's so quick at the defenseman position. He's basically a center in the back half.
Yeah, we are seeing what this team can be at full strength. We're not there yet even. EJ's not back yet.
Wasn't. If EJ was there, that game is not close.
Yeah, like we're almost there. We're seeing the spurts. We're seeing all these great signs that we're just getting teased. We're getting teased of how good this team can be. Like, Byram is not playing great, but we are seeing the spurts of how good he can be.
Oh,
because he's making small rookie mistakes right now.
Yes.
When he's at his full potential, my word, is all the teams in trouble.
Are we about to have back-to-back Calder Cup winners?
We're not. Yeah, I don't know about
not,
that. Yeah,
he's not
Byram
on
has
that
to do a lot
level.
more for that to happen.
He's well, let's keep going with just the first period. So the defense, the Knights only had, I think, 3 maybe shots on goal the entire first period, which is great. The defense was being really active, and they were in the Vegas zone most of the time. And an interesting thing that the announcers brought up, when you play outdoors, there's a weird depth perception thing. So don't actually aim the puck, just put it towards the net, and somebody will deflect it in, and the goalie's not going to be able to see, which did end up kind of being the case. Everybody who just put
especially in
something
the second
towards the
and
net.
third as well. But the first period, especially when it was so light out, John Elway at least won a Super Bowl as a GM. Michael Jordan hasn't even made the playoffs barely as a GM.
That's true. Well, that's the same reason Gretzky wasn't a great coach. Patrick Waugh wasn't a great coach. You know why? They were fucking good enough that they can't coach you how to do how they did it.
They just got into your face and yelled at you what you were doing wrong.
Why can't you score
Exactly.
a backhander through your legs? Why can't you do it? I don't get it. And why don't you go out to center ice and fight the opposite goalie? Because you're a little worked
You're
up.
soft, yeah, you're soft.
You had a cappuccino before the game. You got a little weird at the intermission. So, what else NBA wise are we?
Well, I mean,
Whoa.
yeah, you put in there the Jokic apparently leaving. I'll tell you right now, that's not happening because
You don't think that if they
No.
don't show that they can compete in the Western Conference Finals this year?
No.
He's got 2 years left on his deal. What's to say he doesn't go make NBA Euro in Dallas with those guys?
Well, first of all, Jokic is untouchable. I'll tell you right now, Tim Connolly is going to live or die off of Nikola Jokic. And this young core is growing. This is the young core we saw at the Avalanche. The Avalanche, McKinnon was just wrong. Rantanen was wrong. Landeskog was wrong. McCarr's getting there, obviously. But you have that young core. Now you just got to build them up together. Jokic and Embiid, if they both, which I don't know how it's going to work this year, but if both of them get all in the NBA this year, they're both in line for the Supermax. And I'm telling you right now, Nikola Jokic is Supermax type level player. He 100% deserves it. And Jamal Murray, we paid him 2 summers ago? Yeah, 2 summers ago. But we still have enough pay grade for that because we still have young guys. They're still young core. MPJ is still on his rookie deal. Bol, Zeke Naji, RJ Hampton,
It's
Monte Morris.
Probably why they got rid of Jeremy Grant.
Exactly, yeah. Like Jeremy Grant was gonna take the money away from Jokic. Paul Millsap is probably at the end of his career. He'll probably walk eventually. But Zeke Naji is on a rookie deal. RJ Hampton, Michael Porter Jr., like I said. Monte Morris, we just signed to a great deal this offseason. He's locked up. And you have those young pieces locked up. I think Gary Harris is the next one in line to get paid. But that's something where we can move him to as well. Mm-hmm. So the Nuggets are in a good spot. Like I said, obviously it's just tough being in the West. Like we said for so long, the East was everything was run through LeBron. Now the West is the same exact thing. You have to go through LeBron, but this Nuggets team has the capability of being good enough, long enough until LeBron either retires, which I don't know when that will be, or LeBron goes back to the East and possibly teams up with Bronny back in Cleveland to end his career. So there's possibilities where this team can still compete long enough, where they still have the young core, they just gotta keep growing. But I guarantee you, the only way Jokic gets where Jokic is, or I'll tell you right now, there's a better shot Jamal Murray gets moved before Nikola Jokic. There's a better shot that the Nuggets trade Jamal